Speak for yourself, presented by Hyundai. Marcellus Wiley here.
What was that about, bro?
This color.
What was that about?
These undertones.
I like it.
Okay, that's all I was waiting for.
I like it.
Be on cue next time. Emmanuel Acho in the building.
Can we start the show now?
Why? You don't want to do swag wars anymore? Because I'm winning today. Got so much to talk about. Let's get it started with Tom Brady, who had the ball with a little over a minute left and down by 1 to the Bears. Brady threw back-to-back incomplete passes on 3rd and 4th down, then held up 4 fingers to the ref, which seemed to indicate he thought he had another play. But the Bucs had already turned the ball over on downs. Bruce Arians said after the loss, Brady knew it was 4th down. Take a listen to Brady's explanation.
Was it clear for you guys whether it was 3rd or 4th down on that last play?
Yeah, we just, you're up against the clock and you're up against I knew we had to gain a chunk, so I should have been thinking more 1st down instead of chunk on that down.
Ooh, Acho. Something wrong with Tom Brady?
There's absolutely something wrong with Brady, man. And let me tell you, the issue is that Tom Brady, I've said this all along, I'm struggling to find out, does he actually fit in with the Bucs? Here's what I mean, Marcellus. When you have a kidney, liver, heart transplant, when you take an organ and put it into a new body, sometimes that organ, it can reject the body. Sometimes that body, it can reject the organ. Why? Because that body wasn't naturally built with that organ in place. Here's what I mean. Tom Brady is a new organ that they're trying to fit into this Buccaneers body, and there's a little bit of the body, the Bucs rejecting the organ, Tom Brady, a little bit of Tom Brady, the quarterback, the organ rejecting the body. Let me break it down for you further.
Oh, more surgery.
A little bit more. But I'm not gonna talk surgery, but I'm gonna dissect my notes if I may.
Do you? Got time.
Last year, Jameis Winston, 8.2 yards an attempt, 6th in the NFL as far as how far they were throwing the ball. How many yards every time you were throwing the ball? This year, Tom Brady, 7 yards an attempt. Better than he was in New England, but still only 22nd in the league. Why does that matter? 2014, I played Bruce Arians when he was coaching the Arizona Cardinals. Every 6 plays, they were taking a shot. That was our game plan studying going into that week. Okay. Carson Palmer at quarterback. Every 6 plays, they're taking a shot. That is Bruce Arians' body. This organ of Tom Brady, we already know. He's more of a check-down guy. Last year, Tom Brady, he led the league, 2nd in the league, passes to running backs, Marcellus. But that matters because the Patriots were built for that. Yeah. That was their body. Running backs, they can run out the backfield. They can catch the ball out the backfield. But when you look at the Buccaneers, Leonard Fournette, a bruiser. He ain't a receiver. Ronald Jones, phenomenal game, over 100 yards yesterday, Rojo. But he's not that kind of back. What is wrong with Tom Brady right now, Marcellus? On my first lap,
on your first lap,
I think that the organ doesn't necessarily mesh with the body.
Ooh, I like that first lap. Interesting. I am going to completely disagree and reject your argument like this body is rejecting that organ. You said Bruce Arians is the body.
And the Bucs, the Bucs.
Yeah, that ain't TB12. Ooh, if Tom Brady got to get in that body, everything will get rejected. Respect to you, Bruce Arians, but you ain't looking like you're eating some kale like Tom Brady is. All right, let me get to my argument.
That's your point.
Here's my argument why there's nothing wrong right now with Tom Brady. One, he's suffering from doing too much without knowing enough. You ever been there? You ever been there in a book? I've been there in a few books. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and you're like, all right, I see where this book is going. And then that sucker, you flip the next page, guess what it says? Volume 2. You're like, wait a minute. And Volume 2 had nothing to do with the other chapters. It's going to reset. What's happening with Tom Brady is, as he just went through basically a preseason in 1 game after 5 games, he didn't have the natural process to learn. He didn't have the natural opportunity to learn his mistakes without the entire world's criticism. I remember vividly when the world shifted from practice to performance. Practice used to be when you couldn't do something, this is where you learn to do it. Remember those days? And you worked on your left-hand layups. You worked on a spin move that has never worked in the game. But then all of a sudden, coaches started to get a little tight, and they used to get evaluated from ownership. And now, practice turns into performance. So guys can't even work on their craft the same in practice. Well, imagine if you're going to a new system and you're Tom Brady and you're like, I can't even work out all of my ills and issues without the entire world seeing it. That said, Tom Brady is still on a historic pace for Tom Brady and his GOAT success. Here's a couple of little nuggets right here. You know I love me some deep analytics, pro football focus. You know what they talk about, right? Deep football. Not just the lazy high approach that you like to take a lot of times. I wonder who's ranked third this year by pro football focus at quarterback. Tom Brady. Who's number 1 and 2? Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Based on what metric?
Oh, you got to, come on, you got to go on the site for that. Come on, we ain't got 2 hours for that. No, I can give you the metrics. They're very boring. Very boring. The point is, Tom Brady is going through the process we all have to go through. Success is not linear, and at times it won't look like you're progressing. Maybe you have to take a step back to go 2 steps forward.
I got to disagree with you.
A little bit.
I know. The first, 30 seconds, I was rocking with my dog. My dog looked good today, so I said, I'm going to let you slide. I'm going to let you pass. Got to work on your light-skin pose, though. But no, here's why I have to reject that. Because the other issue with Tom Brady, Marcellus, is he's having to do things he's never had to do before. So he can't go out and play quarterback anymore. Can we talk about this? Can we look at the sideline blow-up? Remember when Tom Brady comes out cussing, dog cussing, like you ain't never seen nobody cuss before? And you got to watch at him. Because he says, you got to be bleeping kidding me. How can we bleeping win like this? What is Tom Brady trying to say? When Tom Brady was in New England, Marcellus, they were not penalized. They didn't have a lot of penalties. Third for 19 years, on average, they were third in penalties. But the Buccaneers, 11 penalties last night. 100 yards of field position of straight penalties. What does that mean? Tom Brady now has to carry more of the load. So what is wrong with Tom Brady? It's not only that they don't exactly mesh, but it's that Tom Brady is used to just being able to go out there and play quarterback. I only want to play quarterback. Marcellus, you and I, we do this show. We are the talent, right? I hate that name. I hate the adjective.
That's corny.
Well, it's just like, that implies that other people aren't talented.
Exactly.
No, we're the talent. What that means is we don't have to produce the show. We don't have to direct the show. We don't have to choose the we just have to come out here and talk and look good doing it. The problem, though, now is Tom Brady has to be the talent plus the producer, plus the director. Tom Brady has to do more than he's ever accustomed to doing. In New England, he just had to go out there and play quarterback. Phenomenal at doing that. Greatest of all time when it comes to winning. But now, he can't just go out there and play quarterback. Now he got to do more.
Will you stop with this heat? See, this is what happens when they give us a day off. They give us a day off, Yacho just takes his whole mind and takes off. It's like, you go on vacation fully. He has not had to do things like this. What? He's never had to do this before? Just the 5th time in his career that he started a season with 12 touchdowns and 1,300 passing yards through 5 games. That means if he's doing it this year, he's done it 4 other times. He's used to this level of success, and as crazy as we're going to look at the record and say 3-2, he's not doing as well. He's done this 4 other times, and I think those have been successful campaigns. Brady, right now, is one of 6 quarterbacks averaging over 275 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes.
No, but that doesn't mean nothing to me.
You ready for this?
Please.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to. I have learned to write notes with notes because I know you're going to always do this.
You know my count is coming.
Your little Gumby, your little flat top curls up, and you start going, I don't like that. Okay, you like this? You want to know the other 5?
What?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes.
Great.
Oh, I know I got you in your heart now. You heard. Josh Allen. And Dak Prescott. It's hard to beat that up if you're going to say Tom Brady's in the category.
Let me tell you why that doesn't matter.
Try.
Let me tell you why that doesn't matter. Because here's what we know. Last year, who led the league in passing?
You stop with that stat. I already disproved that last week.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that equals a lack of success.
This year?
Yes, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that means a lack of success. What I'm saying is this. Bruce Arians, the head coach for the Bucs, is a reason for all these yards. I don't care about all these meaningless yards.
You see Bruce Arians making Tom Brady?
With passing yards, yes. Bruce Arians makes everybody. Bruce Arians makes everybody with passing yards.
He's done this 4 other times. Would Bruce Arians had help on those?
I'm saying you're sitting here telling me that a declining quarterback who we know is declining. We know he's declining.
Yes. That's why he left New England, because he was declining. He said, I need a new co-pilot to help me fly this plane. Ain't nothing wrong with the plane. Y'all lied to me. Told me the engine was dead. No, the engine ain't wrong. The co-pilot and we didn't have enough of the right passengers. We had too much weight. You ever get on a plane? Small planes. private plane. You got to shift sides. Point of this is, if you're going to look and put the focus on Tom Brady is actually doing Tom Brady things. And more importantly, he went out there and lost the game last night. But what other game did he lose? The first game of the year to a team that had won the division 3 straight years. Is that team now winning the division, I ask you, Acho? Is the Saints, are the Saints winning?
The Saints are not.
Thank you. So Tom Brady's doing what Tom Brady does. Win the division, get in the playoffs, hopefully go win a Super Bowl.
Marcellus, 25 for 41, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 250 yards, is not Tom Brady things. Please do not excuse mediocrity and try to title that under Tom Brady things.
So stop trying to win the argument. You're right on that part.
Losing to the Chicago Bears, a declining Chicago Bears, is not a Tom Brady thing. Now, losing to my guy Nick Foles, that's a Tom Brady thing. But don't try to call this a Tom Brady thing. Forgetting what down it is, Marcellus, is not a Tom Brady thing. There is utterly and clearly something wrong with Tom Brady. Now, yes, you're going to see the positives of side effects of Bruce Arians, a lot of yards, but you're also going to see some of the negatives. There's a lot of undiscipline on this team, and Tom Brady clearly isn't used to that, and that's the problem.
No, the problem is Tom Brady is digesting so much information. He even says, I still have gray areas in terms of learning this offense. Bruce Arians is sitting there like, I know the offense completely. Byron Leftwich is like, I know the offense completely. These new players are like, we're trying to learn the offense / learn Tom Brady. And that's why he went belligerent on the sidelines. He's done that in New England 1,000 times. Ask Bill O'Brien about Tom Brady giving him the business, and also ask Tom Brady about penalties. He's seen this frequently with this team. Like, this team is not as disciplined as before. But if you look at this situation, he's been there before. 2016, 109 penalty yards, 11 penalties. It's rare for Tom Brady to have to see that, but it's not rare for him to respond just like that. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have more on Tom Brady, who Acho says is falling off. We'll tell you if he's good enough to carry the Bucs, but first, Dak Prescott says Sunday's game against the Giants is a must-win. We'll tell you if we like his admission. Next, Speak for Yourself, presented by Hyundai.